ओम
Yes,
नमो
Prabhuji, done.
भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Let us offer our prayers as well. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। Reading from the Lord Kapila's teachings. Let me share the screen. Please mute your lines. This is the 10th chapter. So, the context here, Lord, in the Canto 3, there are many subject matters in Canto 3, or in Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 3 is discussing about status quo, chapter title, and then this is 25th chapter, from all the way from, I think, 17, 18, 13 to all the way till 25 or so. 12 chapters or so are there. Lord Kapila's teachings, 13, 14 chapters, very important. First one is Vidura to Maitreya conversation, begins with Canto 3, goes on till the end, but in the middle, Kapila, Lord Kapila is discussing, instructing Mother Devahuti. Before that, Kardam Muni's conversation is there, but this is the main teachings. Out of that, this particular book, Sri Prabhupada compiled, translated, or devotees put together after Prabhupada has given the special classes. 25th chapter. Before class also I had mentioned, if anybody has understood Sankhya Yoga of Lord Kapila's teaching, they should know that the essence of all the 13, 14 chapter of Canto 3 is in this particular chapter, 25th. Glories of devotion service. In that also, specific verses, verse number 20 to 26 is the crucial, the most important, significant verses talking about pure devotion service, how to perfect, how to come to pure devotion service, how to practice it, so how to perfect it. And so that Lord Kapila is giving when Mother Devahuti is submitted. It begins with, it has 44 verses. In that important verses, verse number 1, and then verse number 7, 8, and 10, and then the 18, 19, all the way till 26, and the last verse is concluding also very important verses. So here 18, 19, 20, this particular aspect. So in the 18, 19, 23 verse it is covering. So this whole book is from first chapter to I think 14 chapters or 18 chapters are there. It is covering all these 44 verses. That's all this book is all about. From Canto 3, chapter 25, Glories of Devotion. So it's covering all the 44 verses in different chapters, laying out the whole substance, but it's all pure devotion service. So it begins with the Saunaka and other rishis assembled in Naimisharanya. They're asking to Sota Goswami. So Saunaka Vacha Kapila Tattva Sankyata. So is asking, so what did Lord Kapila's Sankhya, what did he teach? So Bhagavan Atma Maya Jata Swayam Majah Vibho. So जाता स्वयं अज साक्षात आत्म प्रज्ञाप्तये नृणाम. Kapila's tattva sankhya. So tattva means this is absolute truth, has to be understood. Sankhya Yoga means distinguishing between matter and spirit. It's the same thing as the pure devotion service. It's not different. It's not just Gnana Marga. So that's why this chapter is the crucial chapter for Sankhya. And then Lord Kapila has appeared by his own sweet will as the son of Kardam Muni and Mother Devahuti. So Atmamaya, this verse is there in chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, which is sixth verse. Ajo Visanavya Atma Bhutanam Isvaro Visan Sambhavami Atmamaya. So anybody, if anybody asks, so we are also same as God, we are Narayan, then you can question them. We are forced to appear, forced to suffer, forced to have toothache, body ache, so many aches, so many sufferings. But Lord is not like that. He's not forced to appear in this world. That's why it's called Atmaya. That means by his own sweet will, he will take different forms, different incarnations for different purposes. Sometimes he exhibits only some portion, sometimes he exhibits full in full. When Lord Krishna appears, he exhibits everything in full. So that is the first verse where it is describing that Lord Kapila specifically has come, appeared to disseminate the transcendental knowledge, which is supreme absolute truth. Bhagavan Atmaya Jata Swayam Ajas Sakshat, directly Supreme Personality of Godhead. Atma Pragnaptaya Nunam, because this is speaking to Sanukada Rishi is speaking to asking Sutta Goswami, but actually Sukadeva Goswami Parikshit Maharaj. Nunam is king and living entity, human beings. Atma Pragnaptaya means to deliver the conditioned souls to the perfection of Atma Gnan. So that's what this particular verse means. And then as it goes further, then in seventh and eighth verse, Mother Devahuti is submitting. A very important verse, seventh verse, because in order to understand this particular chapter or the further chapters, one should know the seventh verse. One should recognize what is that which is causing the problem right now. What is that which I am not feeling happiness? And Mother Devahuti is able to recognize that mistake, recognize that problem. So that's why she is calling out that Asad Indriya Tarshanat. In that seventh verse, Devahuti Vacha, the Nivrutta Nitaram Bhuman Asad Indriya Tarshanat. Yes, Swayam, no, not Swayam. Swaya Murena, no, last verse, I'm forgetting last line. But the first two lines are important, where she is telling Nivrutta Nitaram Bhuman. So, my Lord, I'm disgusted. Nivrutti means disgusted. So, Nitaram Bhuman, for a long time, uh, because of Asad Indriya Tarshanad, I have accepted impermanent and I enjoyed my senses. I realized it when Kardam Muni left. So that's why she was crying. You are leaving me, then who's there to take care of me? Who's there to bring me to the enlightenment? I have used wrongly your association. Instead of using it for positive enlightenment, spiritual, I have used it for wrong purpose. I didn't take it properly. Your shelter, your association, like Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, all of them. Krishna was there, Vyasadeva was there, so many exalted. They didn't take the item. So we could be in temple, we could be in holy place, but if we don't take proper association, what will be the use? So it will be simply waste of time. So we have to realize that when we come to temple, we have to clearly understand this purpose is to be liberated from this current conditioning. That means no, absolutely no talking of politics, economics, this, that. Absolutely talk about the Supreme Lord and the devotees, how I can enhance, what can I do? What service can I do? This should be the mode. When we operate on this mode, then because we recognize the mistake of Asad Indriya Tarshana, then only you can operate. If we don't recognize this fully ingrained that I am operating on Asad Indriya Tarshana, then you will not do anything about it. If you recognize that mistake, core in the heart, then for sure we will do it. When there is a problem of job, then what you will do? You will be aggressive to find a job. Yes, because we see that as a core problem. But here, when we take up devotion, we don't see that as a core problem. We don't see that as ultimate goal. That's where the problem comes. If you see that as ultimate goal, actually this is the real thing, then we take it seriously. Mother Devahoti is in that state of consciousness. She recognized the biggest mistake, biggest blunder she did. And so that's why she is submitting. That means Prabhupada is telling, Actually, this is the relationship one need to have. This is when the spiritual master is needed because she is recognizing and she is submitting the problem to the spiritual master so that spiritual master can enlighten. And then further she says in the eighth verse and then Dusparasya Paragam in the eighth verse. Prabhupada says very significant. This Dusparasya means I am submitting to you because you are the spiritual master, you are the supreme lord, you are my son, but actually that is not the fact. You are the supreme lord and spiritual master who you can take me from current conditional state, from material side to the other side, spiritual side, from material world to the spiritual world. You are the only one who can take. And tenth verse clearly that is articulated. Tvam tva saranam saranyam taro kutaram. There it is mentioned. Gataham taro kutaram. Kutaram means take an axe and cut these unwanted conditioning, all the knots, so many deep attachments I have deep rooted. All those you must cut. So because otherwise I'm disgusted with this conditioning of so long, so many years. So now I don't want to do continue this path. So only you can cut. No one else in this world can cut this. That means he's telling that one must take shelter of the spiritual master and the supreme lord with a. That's why the last verse is also important because he's concluding. He's concluding the last verse with Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Manomai Arpitam Stiram. Stiram is very fixed. Every day with a laser focus one should practice. Tivrena means not ordinarily. So that means as you put the different wood and ghee in the fire, then you can't put water in it. That means you can't put the same. You can't continue your sinful activity. You can't do against Shastra and Sadhu and Guru and Lord Krishna's teachings. So this is the sum and substance. And then the middle is giving the solution. Verse number 20 is giving the solution. The 18th verse is defining if you want to get out of the current conditioning, you must practice what you should practice, not karma yoga, not jnana yoga, not ashtanga yoga, not hatha yoga. You must practice this bhakti yoga. So that is defining gnana vairagya yuktena. And this knowledge gives ultimate knowledge and also it ultimate detachment internally. Gnana vairagya yuktena. Bhakti yuktena cha atmani. Because this is the only thing which can satisfy the soul, nothing else. Other things may be satisfied limitedly, temporarily. Karma yoga, gnana yoga, ashtanga yoga. Real satisfaction cannot come until the soul is satisfied. All the senses, mind, intelligence, seemingly satisfied, but actually, again and again, it brings up the unwanted things and suffering is there. Hmm. So that is the point here. And then how it should be done? Paripasyati udasinam. And we should be neutral. Udasinam means we should be as though. So we have these things because every day we have to go in train, car, bus, flight, and we see all kinds of people. Then what you do? You have to become neutral. Like Sri Prabhupada has done. By the fight, people are smoking and drinking, creating a great havoc, disturbance. The disciple went and told, they didn't listen. They went and told the air hostess, still they didn't listen. Still is about to still again go and complain or tell them. Then Prabhupada said, sit down. What is the difference between you and them? Can't you tolerate? What did you understand? Bhagavad Gita. So you must tolerate. In some situation, you may be able to do, you can tell or suggest, but we should be able to. At the ultimate end, you have to tolerate. Sometimes you can't control the situation. So it's, most of the times. In job, can you control it? We're not the big boss, so we can't control it. It's not in our hands. So there also we can do many things. Many in the world situation, many things we can't control it. What we can control is we ourselves have to change first. Our habits, our everything, our consciousness, our attitude, the way we act, way we behave, way we talk, way we live, way we eat, way we sleep. These things first we have to change before pointing at others. First we have to change this consciousness. So that's why this bhakti yoga is important in practice. And prakritim cha hato. Then what will happen? Why can't I do all other yogas? No, if you do this yoga, then the Prakriti's material nature's force, influence will be minimized. It will be less effect. Hataujasam. So that's what it is. In this particular verse has been told here. It's a translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. In that position of self-realization, by practice of knowledge and renunciation in devotion service, everything in devotion service, right, one sees everything in right perspective. Only if you practice devotion service under the guidance of one of our Acharya, Sampradaya, under training of their representatives, then we see things in right perspective. Otherwise, as you perform devotion service also, we will not see things right perspective. Because we are using our minds, ideas. We are not going by what Prabhupada said in the books or in the classes. Then we go our mind. So I can do like this also. So I will do deity worship like this, or I will do cleaning like this, I will cook like this. So on day-to-day basis, I can do ekadasi like this, I can chant like this, I can watch TV and chant. So whatever, so many different ways we do. Because this is all not going by what is taught in pure devotion service by Sri Prabhupada, Acharya. So that's we have to stick to that. Then you will see everything in right perspective. If we do still continue our own way of not actually sticking to the process given by the Acharya, then you can't see in right perspective. We will not know what is to be done, what is not to be done, if you don't stick to the process. Then you will do consistently. Because if you read and if you hear Prabhupada books, so that's why the third verse is the solution is giving. The prasangam ajaram pasam atmanam kavayu saiva sadhuskul mokshadvaram apavam. Otherwise, your age will change, everything will change, but this particular influence, your mind speculation will not change. It's so difficult, so much stubborn. Prasangam, prakrushta rupena sangha. It's deep attachment is there. Ajaram pasam. Jarati means it will digest everything. Food is digesting, the body is going away slowly, cells are changing, we are becoming old. But everything else is reducing. But one thing is not reducing, the influence. The mind's influence, the senses influence, it is not going away. Then what you have to do? Saiva sadhu sukruta. The sadhus association. Who are those sadhus? The sadhus who are situated in the topmost platform, their only business is to serve Guru and Krishna, please Guru and Krishna. When we go to holy place, this is the business. Many times we enjoy. I was telling in the other previous class also before. Holy place is not meant for that. Including any temple, it is not meant for that. Okay, you do regularly what can be done. But especially if you go to holy place like Vrindavan, Sita Mayapur, Badrinath, all these Jagannath Puri, all these places, first thing is we have to go in the association of devotees. If you don't know anybody, then just go to the temple there and contact our ISKCON center. They will help you. They will be able to help in some way or the other, somehow or the other. That is the first thing. Then we must hear there. We must hear. If you don't have time, then you have to discuss with somebody who is an advanced devotee there. Then the third thing, you should try to do service. Then anything else is later. Okay, these are the three things one should be very much be inclined to. Then actually your purpose of going to the holy place is perfected. If Guru is there, you should first you have to go to the Guru. Don't try to jump to Radha Krishna. Don't try to go to the deities. No, first if the Guru is there in that holy place, you better first go to the spiritual master, take his darshan. If he is busy, at least you contact his contact his representative. Then you go to the temple. This is the business. First business is because without spiritual, what you will see, you will open your eyes, close your eyes, nothing you are going to get. If he opens your eyes, then you can see actually the real form of the Lord. So that's why the solution is given in the third verse, which is 20th verse, which is the famous verse. Out of the Sankhya Yoga, this Kapila's teachings, that is the famous verse. And then Satam Prasanga, the same verse, that also, and that and this is combined. It is giving the result. It is giving how the progression will happen. If you take the association, what will happen? I think 25th verse. Satam prasangat mama virya samvido bhavanti hrit karnara. That means with the heart. Heart has to have attachment and love. Then only you can do consistent practice. If the heart is not there, you can't do consistent practice at all. You will fail every day, you will fail. Even though you want to do it, you are not there. So heart has to be there. It is not by duty. And by duty means because job means if you don't do it, you can't maintain yourself. That's why there you'll put your all your efforts, no matter what you'll take care. But this is not like that. Spiritual practice, even if you don't do it, you're still be maintained. You're eating, you're sleeping, that is there. So without this also you can live. So that's what we are thinking, that actually we are not realizing that every life same thing is going on, same suffering, but not realizing this is actually the most important thing. So that's this consistent practice is will be able to do only if you hear, especially the hearing is the one. When you take the association, satam prasangat. In which association, satam means the pure devotees association, you have to hear. Prasangat. Mama Virya Samvado. Though are discussing only the glories of the Supreme Lord. Bhavanti Hrit Karna Rasayana, with your heart, and Rasayana means this dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee, the water washed the lotus feet of the pure devotee. Then the third one is remnants of the pure devotee. That also you have to take permission, like Narada Muni has showed. So you can grab still, Prabhupada said, but that is the general idea. You always be humble and ask them, take their permission and request them. We humbly we do service, then we request and then we take like that. So Kanna Rasayana, Kanna Rasayana, Anartha, on that Anartha, then by their association, by their remnant, by their water, by their dust, Anartha Apagama, then no more birth, death, old age. That cycle will stop right there. Anartha Apagama, Yadartha, Mahiyasam Padarajo Abhishesh. No, in this verse, Bhavanta Hrit Karna Rasayana, Anartha Apagama. So oh, no, I'm forgetting. I think mixing the another verse. There is a Shraddha Bhakti Ratir Anukramesi. That is the last line. It starts with Adav Shraddha, increases the faith, then Rati is in the middle. Right now don't have attachment because of Anarthas. It is blocking our Nishtha, faith, strong faith, and then Ruchi, taste is missing. So that's why we can do. One day we do. The weekend means we'll sleep. We'll not chant properly. Chanting means it has to be done. It must be done by 6 o'clock. It must be done. Before everybody wakes up, before they disturb you, you better finish your 16 rounds. That is the process. If you do it anything after that, we won't be able to do properly. And we are not Haridas Thakur to chant with great attention any day, any time. Prabhupada can do, Haridas Thakur can do. We are not at that time. So that's why we have to pay attention and chant. As if we increase this attention of chanting the holy name with great attention, then all these anarthas, and we are under the guidance, under the training, proper training and hearing. So then this chanting will be very, very attentive, and then naturally all the anarthas, advancement automatically will happen. From Shraddha to Bhakti, Rati will happen, means deepest attachment with everything about the Lord and Guru, deepest attachment. So that's why we run to Guru first. If Guru is there, we'll run. If Guru is there, any place where we are, then we better be try to utilize the maximum to the maximum extent to serve him, to hear from him, whatever we can do. That should be our, because otherwise, what is the meaning of this year? Mother Devahuti is showing how she is so much deeply submitting to the Lord Kapila, who is a spiritual master and as also Supreme Lord. In Arjuna's case, also is a Supreme Lord has become. That is not our position. Taking the position of Arjuna and Mother Devahuti say that no, no, I don't need Guru. I will directly jump to Krishna. Krishna is not going to give instruction. Most of the times, he will, majority of the cases, Lord always gives instructions and service and everything through Guru, through their representatives, through other devotees. Guru will arrange. Guru is the one who is arranging. Prabhupada is the one who is arranging. Acharyas are arranging. So that's why we have to take their shelter. So it is a gradual process. So we cannot imitate Haridasa, we cannot imitate somebody else. We should fix certain time and use that time. No matter what I should do. Once in a while, if you break, that's fine. But every day we have to have consistent practice. Morning, evening, the reading, hearing, chanting. These three things are supremely important. And then service. Festivals means we have to do service. No matter you have to. You cannot wait for somebody else to ask you what you have to do. We should be jumping. We should be asking for service. So that also is very important, because otherwise this attachment will not come. Your chanting, waking up, these things will not happen, because we're so much in the asad indriya tarsana. If the body is not fully engaged, then you can't actually practice this process consistently. That is why service is also very important. As good as much as chanting, hearing, and reading is important, but service is also important. Before you do service, you better chant at least few rounds. Don't start any service without chanting. You better chant. Otherwise, you will not be attentive. You will create chaos. You will do offenses. You will not behave properly. All this will be there because you haven't taken shelter of the chanting, the holy name, which is the Yuga Dharma for this age. So before we come to temple, we better chant at least one round, two rounds. So then by the holy name, strength of the holy name, then we understand actually who we are, our position as a menial servant, not the great devotee, menial servant. So that in that way we act, but it requires a lot of consistent practice. Then after certain practice will come. So let us go back to this verse. So let us look at the purport by Sri Prabhupada. As the contamination of the germs are particular, so Prabhupada is giving the example. Just like germs are there, you go to doctor if there is a problem, disease, what you will do? You will give prescription. This is what you have to do, and particular diet you have to do. Same thing. This is like this devotion service and sadhus association like an infection. Infection will catch and immediately you'll get it. It is like this is also like that. Practice of bhakti in the right association is acts like a infection. A particular disease can influence a weaker person. Similarly, the influence of material illusion can act on the weaker or conditioned soul, but not on the liberated soul. Both sides of the coin is there. If we take the sadhu and this practice of devotion service, then it can affect, influence positively. If we take the other side, materialistic association, those who are always in the opposite side of it, which means against the Shastra, they will do anything and everything. If we take their association deeply, then automatically we'll be influenced, we'll be conditioned. So that's why the whole Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, the one thing is, the most important thing is, uh, what is it? Give up the unwanted association. Asat Sanga Tyaga Ei Vaishnavachar. This is the foremost principle on the way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have to give up. That means no deep association with those who have no attachment to the Lord. No, they are not following the practice. Neither they are favorable. Then we have to reduce our association with them. Externally, we can have, but internally, we should not be mingling with them for parties and whatnot. So we have to be very careful about that. In the office, we may not be able to do it, but you spend less time. You be there. You can deny it because you have to be in the meetings. Sometimes these meetings are outside in the parties. Then you are there. You spend a few minutes or half an hour at the best. This is what I do. This is what I have been doing in the last 15, 20 years. So I'll be there, but I'll only spend, generally I distribute books, or I'll distribute prasadam, or I'll talk to them something positive if possible. If not, I'll get out, I'll be reading on the cell phone, or I will chant, I'll use the clicker, and then get out from there. Half an hour, 45 minutes max. That's the max. You'll tell them something which is, I have important things to take care of. There is a consciousness, then you will act. If there is no consciousness, you will simply engage there only, and then you will be disturbed later. You won't be able to get up, wake up, and chant the holy names next day. Can't practice consistently, so it is not possible. So this is in our hands only. We have to make these conscious choices. Otherwise, this process can take proper effect. So self-realization is the position of the liberator. One understand his constitution position by knowledge and vairagya. So that's why every day we have to receive this knowledge. Every day we have to practice. Prabhupada said minimum 20 years of consistent practice. So we have to try. This is what offenseless chanting, this is what trying to practice pure devotion service means. We are trying. We are trying to avoid offenses. We are trying to follow the process, what Prabhupada. If it doesn't happen, that is then up to Guru and Krishna. First, we have to try seriously. Uh, that's why that is also generally our chanting. If you are trying, knowing first what those 10 offenses and seriously trying not to commit those offenses, then that is also considered nama abhas. But we have to seriously know those 10 offenses and we have to seriously try to avoid it. That means we are trying, that's why it is called nama. Not knowingly we are not doing. We are actually trying, but somehow or the other we are falling short. Still, that is considered nama pass. So that's the same thing. We have to follow the process. If once in a while or something happens, we are trying to come, trying to hear the class, trying to attend the class, but some family emergency or something came, then it's fine. But then up to Guru and Krishna. But Lord is seeing, Guru is seeing in the heart what exactly you are doing, how much your attention is there, how much you are serious about the practice. So then is the Guru and Krishna. That's why Even though somebody is less 20, 30% in devotion, but if he has tried his whole life, but somehow or the other, his circumstances, something, he didn't practice, he didn't advance much, but the Guru can still give a stamp. You have to give him, take him back to Godhead. Everything is in Guru's hands, but Guru generally will not give that stamp so easily. So if somebody is knowingly not taking the process seriously, then he is not going to give the stamp that Krishna admit him. Only he will give when the person has actually tried already 100%. He put his effort, but still he failed because of the circumstances, whatever situation. Then he will give his stamp. He has to see. Guru has to see what is how much we are endeavoring it. Then only he can give stamp. Even though if you are fall short of 100%, 70%, 60%, even 50% also he can give. General Prabhupada says 70% at least. But if you have taken Guru's responsibility significantly, then Prabhupada will give. Prabhupada said that I will come, or sometime Bhaktivinoda Thakur will come. Prabhupada said like that. Because you have done significant work to serve me, then naturally he is obligated to give his full blessings at the time of leaving the body. So that's what we have to take. If you are initiated, then we better take responsibility of serving Guru in something other, not just simply chanting and hearing that anyway anybody can do. So something else we have to do. How to serve him? What way I can serve him? We have to ask him. He is not going to give directly answer. Many times he may not respond. So you have to keep asking, you have to keep praying. Then hopefully one day it will happen in our life that he will give personal instruction or he will tell you. Generally, most of the time, general instructions are given in the classes how we can serve spiritual master. So he will give. If you are attentive in the class, he will answer those. If you are serious enough, Lord will make sure. Lord will inspire the Guru to answer and send the instruction in our way, either directly or through his representatives. So that's why we have to be first serious enough with that fact. So this is the beginning of devotion service. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, one cannot engage in devotion service of Lord. There's the first layer of simple activity. Esham antagatam papam jananam punyakarmana. Then we will come to this process. So then we will be inquisitive that you will feel that you are suffering. Then only you will take up the one. That's why 99% of the people are not feeling this suffering. They are not inquisitive about this process. That's why you can't expect them to come to our temples and full temples are full. That won't be there. That won't be the case because they're not interested. They are still enjoying their materialistic life. So that's why they won't be ready. They won't be ready. This is Krishna's statement. Manushyanam Sasa, that's why he's making the statement. Why four types of people only surrender, four types of doesn't surrender? That's why. They will not surrender. Everybody is not going to surrender. It's not possible because they are not there yet. They are not qualified yet. They are still thinking that this material world is for them to enjoy. Why should I worship God? So that's why we are going to try, but they may reject, which is fine. You will tolerate and go on further. You go to some another person. Don't be thinking so much, why this person didn't take. That's not your discretion. That is the discretion is Guru and Krishna's discretion. What will happen? Result is up to them. Our duty is to try. Keep practicing it, keep giving it to others. Then what happens to them when they will become pure devotee this life, next life, that is not our discretion. That is up to Guru and Krishna. Our job is to just follow and practice it. So no, that's what is been. In this verse, therefore, it is stated Gnana Vairagya. When one is in full knowledge of one's constitutional position and is in the renounced order of life, detached from material attraction, this is all internal. So not so much about external. Yes, some external things will be there, but more so is internal is very important. Many times devotees do the external, but internally they'll forget. We are supposed to become Antaranga Bhakta, not Bahiranga Bhakta. Bahiranga Bhakta, not much use. Antaranga Bhakta means you are taking in the heart and you are detaching, not giving up your job, not giving up your family. I will go and sit in holy place. Have your guru told you? Have your guru is instructed you like that? So that we have to consider. Then otherwise, don't take these things as you read these lines and then you think you'll come up with your own thoughts and ideas and decide yourself. That won't be the good for us. Then by pure devotion service, bhakti yuktena, he can engage himself as a loving servant of the Lord. Paripasyati means that he can see everything in the right perspective. That means before buying a car, before buying cell phone, before buying a home, before investing everything, you'll know actually will this help to serve Guru and Krishna or will this take me away? And then you'll make right choices. Otherwise, We'll just go with the flow. Everybody else has it, I should also do the same. Even though it's going to bring us down in devotion practice, we will not consider any of that. This tendency will be there in devotees. So that we have to be very careful. If you are serious enough praying, then only Lord will give the proper intention. Otherwise, we'll simply caught up with the flow of this material world, materialistic ideas and thoughts. Jada Vidya Mayar Vaibhav and Tomara Bhajan Bada. Then we will simply only suffer. Next life again we have to continue. So we have to decide what we want to do. We will want to go with the flow of devotees or go with the flow of what Guru and Krishna is encouraging us. That we have to see. Then the influence of the material nature becomes almost nil. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Bhota Prasannatma. That means no more anchoring, no more lamentation. Because whatever happens is up to Guru. I will try my best to practice this. If something doesn't happen, I'm not going to lament because this is the result which Lord is giving. Then maybe I'm not perfect. Maybe I have so much sinful activity to begin with. So that's why He's giving me this chance that so that I can actually improve myself. So He's giving me another chance to improve myself. That's why His result didn't happen. Proper result didn't come. Maybe I should try more hard next. So in this way, we have to positively take the process. And at the time he is freed from the lamentation anchoring, the Lord stated that position is Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. So that is where actual real devotional service come when we are not anchoring, not desiring anything, not looking for anything, then actual real devotional service. When Brahmavata Prasannatma stage comes, then actual real devotional service in the spiritual world will start. So that is the starting point. Until that, we may practice it, but actually, we won't be able to practice it purely. We can't enter into spiritual world like that. So if Guru gives stamp, that's a exceptional case. We're not, you cannot wait for the exceptional case. Maybe Guru will give stamp. I can do anything and everything. I will not practice seriously. I will practice whatever way currently. I don't need to become serious. Anyway, Guru will give. No, Guru cannot give when we are not serious enough. He has to see the seriousness and practice. Then only he can give stamp. He can let Krishna allow us enter into the spiritual world. So, in the conditioned state, we are influenced by the material nature. We have already discussed how we are conditioned by the three modes of material nature. So, that's why on a day-to-day basis, we should practice on goodness. As devotees, also, we have to give up this passion, work, 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 or desiring to run here, run there. This also devotees has these mentalities. That how long you've done many lifetimes, same thing. In this devotion service, man, don't run here, there, run here. So be satisfied with whatever you are doing. The food also same thing. When you come to 40, 50 years, stop it. No more desiring, I want this, I want that. Whatever your wife gives you, whatever you get in the temple, be satisfied, just accept it. This is what Lord is giving, just accept it. You can't go on after 50 or 60 years, I want this, I want that. Then when your sense desires will stop. Prasadam is good, but when it will stop? When it will stop? When we will develop chanting, attraction for chanting? If these things are going on and on, then when it
Imam,
will develop? It can't develop. You can't blame the Guru and Krishna because we're not really serious. If you are serious, then we'll make those choices clear. It will be very clear. So that's why this is important. Sometimes the Prabhupada instruct like that to Sankirtan. Don't take any grains. You just take Ekadasi. Hmm. You eat the roasted cashews. You take only Ekadasi. You don't eat grains. Some Kirtan reward sometimes Prabhupada told like that. Specific instances are there because Prabhupada is seeing something. So they are affected. So by certain consciousness, he has to instruct certain way. So, but
yes,
in
Abhishek.
general,
Yeah,
at least when we come
thank
to
you.
this little older age, we should try. We should try to once in a while. Okay, festivals we may eat like that, but regularly we should try. Especially when we are a certain, it is good. Doctor will tell you not to eat so much, not to take so many things because that is the idea. Because body won't digest. Body won't be able to take it. So that the sense things has to be stopped where we are. Lower mode, so that I was telling. Mode of goodness means our cleanliness, our shaving, everything has to be clean. Externally clean, internally clean. If there is no external cleanliness, internal cleanliness cannot come. It won't come. Because dirtiness is outside means dirtiness is inside. And that's why Prabhupada asked many times when he sees in Mayapur, Vrindavan, many temples, he goes, why the books are not arranged? Why it is dirty? Why this kitchen is dirty? Why this temple is dirty? Why the garbage is there? Why things are not, why the bathroom is so dirty? That means you yourself is In mode of ignorance, he was chastising a sannyasi in Sridham Mayapur. Your senior, but you're chastising because you cannot say you use the bathroom, but you can't see because you are operating on mode of ignorance, passion. That's why you can't see. You're not operating goodness. Otherwise, you would have fixed it. Either you yourself would have done it, or you would have asked for help, and then you would have made that fix. But you didn't do that. Means you are not in mode of goodness. Prabhupada is giving these instructions for us to try to come to mode of goodness. Then it becomes much easier to consistent practice of bhakti. If you are operating on constantly in ignorance and passion, it becomes difficult. Don't be under the illusion that I am practicing bhakti means I am in mode of goodness. That is not the case. Otherwise, in Srimad Bhagavatam, that would have stated 81 ways devotion service. Three modes into three, nine, and nine, Sravanam to all the way to Atma Nivedana. There are nine limbs. This nine is multiplied by nine, 81 ways. Devotees are practicing in these 81 ways of devotion service. Not everybody is practicing on mode of goodness. That is there. That's why this is mentioned. I think in Canto 3, I don't remember the exact verse and exact chapter, but if you search it, you will find it. Why it is mentioned? Prabhupada, why did he mention? Because of this reason only. He mentioned even Lord Brahma state. Lord Brahma himself, he has given three different conditions for him also. Now, what about us? We are nothing in front of him. So, Lord Brahma also, if he has a difference of opinion when he is leaving the body, when his lifetime is over, he will also come back again. He cannot enter. Generally, he will enter into the spiritual world. All those who are in that Brahma planet, the topmost planet, 14th planet, highest planet, they generally enter. Yeah, majority. But if at all, if they have difference of opinion, they will also. He may again another time Brahma, or he may lesser than that also. Depends on the condition. So three different status also. Why it is explained? These examples are given so that we understand we are serious to operate on mode of goodness. That's why these are explained. Otherwise, it doesn't need to be, Prabhupada doesn't need to elaborate on these aspects. So we have to take it very seriously, this matter. So you can read this verse further, the purport, because time will be short. And Prabhupada is quoting. This is the Acharya's business, is to quote. This exact same verse is there in the beginning only. Divinity Divine Service, chapter 1, verse number 2. I think, what verse? Sixth verse or the seventh verse? Yeah. Vasudeva, same thing is explained. Jnana Vairagya will automatically happen if you properly practice devotion service. You will enlighten with knowledge, naturally you will detach, because with the knowledge you will understand that this is not good for me. Let me become detached. No more watching TV, no more watching sports, no more playing cricket, no more none of these. So rather, let me spend some time. What use you will get otherwise? Do the same thing. What result? Tell me how you are going to satisfy Guru by watching sports. Tell me. Can you give me an answer? Watching sports. Okay, you play, then maybe exercise. But when you watch sport, what result you will get? Then why we do it? So we have to question ourselves. We have to make these corrections. Uh, when maybe devotees association at that time when you have picnic together, maybe at that time you can play, that is fine. But not otherwise. Not otherwise. We have to see what is the time, place, circumstance. We have to see. Uh, yes, we have this background. Previous background is there. We watch this and that. But now with when the instructions are given, we have to stop it. All these things. Otherwise, this will continue on. You can't operate on mode of goodness. We have to stop. That's what Prabhupada is telling in this purport. You have to stop. Sense gratification has to stop. All these are different kinds of sense gratification only. Otherwise, what is it otherwise? Watching sports, watching TV, watching political news. What is it then otherwise? How you are going to satisfy Guru and Krishna? If you need to know certain things, yes, whether or something, that's fine. But not more than that. To the degree you require certain things, to that degree only we watch. So it's better you don't watch somebody else. You ask somebody, they will tell you. Most of the people will tell you, discuss about it, then you will get to know. So Prabhupada is telling already in this verse also, if you want to practice, then you have to take shelter of the Mahatmas. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, Mahatmanas Tumam, the famous verse, similar to Lord Vasudev is instructing. Take shelter of the Mahatmas. Mahatmas means who are operating Ananyamana, means unalloyed devotion service. No mixture of karma, gnana, yoga, no mixture of passion, ignorance, completely in pure goodness. Hmm. There may be little changes, but they practice with Ananya Manasa. When it is mentioned in this verse, the pure goodness. So not anything lower. And that is what? It is Mahat Sevantamo Dwaram. If you take shelter of Mahatma, then your doors for liberation is open. If you Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. If you take the association of those on the lower mode, then doors for hell is open. So that we have to make a conscious choice. These kind of verses are there throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's what is explained here. Under their guidance of Mahatmas, if you follow this practice and hearing and chanting, then actually we can understand this process and practice it properly. If you're not training, and training is also required, other than chanting, hearing, reading, Prabhupada is stressing again and again, repeat throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, all the books. But also is mentioning service, deity worship, but also training and guidance also supremely important. Because if you are under the guidance and training by a superior devotee who himself is practicing, he or she is practicing as Prabhupada instructed, is in line with Prabhupada and Guru, then by being under their guidance, then we will properly act. Otherwise, it's not possible. It's not possible. So that's why we have to be under the proper shelter, proper guidance, proper training, because Guru is not going to be there every day with us. So we have to realize that. So verse number 19 now is going to tell, you can question that why I should practice bhakti. Is here is telling that no other process is going to help you to come to this pure goodness. It's not possible. That's why he's mentioning this is the verse. If anybody asks, where did Krishna mention? You tell them. Many other places also there. Bhagavad Bhaktyamam Abhijanati. All these verses are there. But this is another verse which goes with it. So here Krishna is clearly mentioning Lord Kapila. Na yujyamanaya bhaktya means if you do anything else which is not bhakti, karma, gnana, yoga, ashtanga, anything is not going to, you cannot practice like this. He's telling that. Na yujyamanaya bhaktya bhagavati akilatmani. We are not akilatmani. Akilatmani means we are there everywhere. We know everything, what they are done in the last life, this life, and the future. We are not akilatmani. People claim like that they are Bhagavan as God and so many. But you have to question. Show them this verse and then are you the Akilatmani? No, you are not Akilatmani. Why you are suffering otherwise if you are Akilatmani? That's many times when they stand up and say, then I am God and this in Pandal program. Prabhupada immediately, right away get on their case. So a pure devotee cannot tolerate somebody claiming as God. We can't come up with this kind of so God. So even when Prabhupada was there, they were writing this Baba, that Baba. They wrote to Prabhupada. Immediately Prabhupada is asked, where in the Shastra is explained that this person is God? Show me. First show me, then we will discuss further, go further. What kind of act, what he teaches, on what basis he teaches, what is his teaching? Prabhupada, I don't know this person, but so on what Shastra, you have to define what is his position and then what he teaches. Based on that, you know. Actually, is bona fide or not bona fide? Is bogus. So this is the way we have to question. So Acharya teaches like that. So here also na yujyamanaya bhaktya bhagavati akilatmani sadruso asti Siva panta. Siva means auspicious. Lord Shiva is auspicious by taking shelter of him. We pray, we offer. Every day we offer Mahaprasad. So I'm consistently following every day, even at the temple also when I offer. Because he is not a ordinary person, he is not a demigod. His position is different. He is not a Jiva Tattva, he is above Jiva. So that's why we offer. We take shelter of, is also one of the divine master. Rudra Gita is there. He is completely meditating on Lord Rama, Lord Balaram. So he helps us to intensify our practice because he himself is intensifying his practice. That's why he is fully detached. He doesn't wear anything. But he still gives shelter to the snakes and hobgoblins and bhutas, pretas, because somebody has to give shelter. Otherwise, what is their deliverance? So he's very, in that way, he's supremely auspicious. So that Shiva meaning is auspicious, very compassionate. So that's why he will become very compassionate by seeing our surrender and sincerity and prayers. Then he will bestow to become even more fixed up. So in that sense, we don't ask for benefits. If at all we worship any of these personalities, we only ask for pure devotion. We only ask for how I can actually enhance my service to Guru. These are the things we ask when we pray to Lord Shiva. We will not ask like those who are followers of Lord Shiva, not from Rudra Sampradaya, but there are many others who follow Lord Shiva, but they are not operating on that platform. They are not asking for actually what pleases Lord Shiva. What you want me to do, that they are not asking. They will do whatever because Shiva has drunk. Sometimes they think that he has drunk some liquor and this and that. He can do. He is enlightened soul. For him, there is no rules. He can do if at all. He doesn't do, but if at all, if he drunk, also no problem because he can drink poison water, anything he can drink. So, but we are not at that level to operate and follow because he has done, and we will also imitate. Then it will become dangerous. Paradharma bhayavaha, as Lord Krishna is telling. We can't imitate these enlightened persons. Neither we should think him also ordinary person. Neither we should think that he is independent of Lord Vishnu. That is the second offense in the chanting of the holy name. We should know these things. Thinking of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva to be equal to, we should not treat him at the equal level. That's why on the altar, anybody is putting Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, any of them at the same level as Lord Vishnu, that is also an offense. This we have to realize. I told many times, but still there may be devotees who are not following that. This is the position. Baba, you put the master and servant at same level. Ideal servant, they will never accept to sit on the same level as master. Your guru is there. Can you sit at the same level as guru? You are the servant, you are the disciple. Can you sit at the same level as guru? No. None of the ideal disciple will sit at the same level as guru. That means we are acting as master. So how you can expect that Lord Shiva will sit at the same level as his Ishtadev, his master? He won't. We are simply speculating and we are putting at him level. That's an offense. Of course, he will forgive because he is there. He is in charge for mode of ignorance. What can he do? What can he do? Is poor ignorant. Then that's what he will consider, and then he will forgive. But we have to realize his mood, his position, his instructions. We have to realize. Then we have to operate. So we have to, that's why our altar also has to be based on what Shastra is teaching. Not any way I like, I will put hundreds of pictures everywhere and without proper understanding, then that's not going to lead us practice proper bhakti. So we have to know everything, whatever we do, everything we have to know why we do like that. What is the reason? What is the Shastra's basis? Then only you can practice this consistently, devotion service. Otherwise, it is a difficulty. So that is Sadriso Asti Siva Panta Yoginam Brahmasya. Then you will come to Brahmasya perfection. That is what is defining. You have to practice bhakti only Bhagavati Akila. To that person, Bhagavati Akilatmani. That means who is the Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. Those personality you have to worship him at the supreme level. The Akilatmani, to that person. Sometimes Vyasdev, Narada Muni, they are also called as Bhagavan because they're as good as Bhagavan. So that's why Vyasdev is empowered in the Sektaveda. Narada Muni is also Sektaveda avatar. So they are called. There is nothing wrong in it. But actually, when it gets supreme, they also worship Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. So they also know. They don't consider themselves as master. Lord Balram himself is not considering himself as master. There is a verse. Prabhupada quoted again and again. Ekala Ishvara Krishna. He didn't say Ekala Ishvara Shiva, Ekala Ishvara Brahma, Ekala Ishvara Narayan. Then why this verse is there then? You have to question. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Ara Sabha Bhrutya. That means everybody else is a servant, including Lord Balram. Master is only Krishna. Master is only Krishna. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Ara Sabha Bhrutya. This was everything we go by Shastra. We don't speculate and come up with our own ideas. This is a Prabhupada statement, Shastra statement, Acharya statement. We go by that. So that's why this verse is there. You must practice bhakti. If you want to be enlightened, go to spiritual world, then Krishna Prema, then you must practice bhakti. That is only one minute is there. Let's look at this verse. I already told before. But this verse number 20 is very important, which is Prasangam Ajaram Pasam. Everybody should know this verse by heart and know the meaning and operate on that. Prasangam, Prakrushta Rupena, great attachment we have. So, for that reason, what we are supposed to do? First line is explaining the problem statement. Ajaram Pasam. Pasam means it's like a rope. So, three ropes together, three modes. Tied us down, shackled us down like iron chains. Then what we are supposed to do? Atmana kavayo vidu. If you want to be enlightened, then sayeva sadhu sukrutu. So that is only way is certainly we should take shelter of these sadhus who are Mahatmas, who are Mahajans, who knows the Dharma, who knows the Dharma. So whatever Lord is teaching, what we are supposed to do at any point of time, at any time of age, Kali Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, any, they know exactly what is the Dharma for that age, for that time, place, circumstance, they will know exactly. So that's why we take their shelter. Then what will happen? Moksha dwaram apavratam. We will be liberated. We will not look for liberation, but we will be in the service of the Lord. That's what we look for. What can I do? What service can I do? In the spiritual world also we will be doing service. There also our spiritual master will be there. That's why Chakshudan Diloje Janme Janme Prabhu say. That's why we can't jump over Guru. So when Prabhupada was there also, they were running to, I want to go to Babaji, somebody else. You are not giving the highest. This mentality is there. When Prabhupada was there also. Now also will be there. So that's why whatever Guru is telling, understand that he knows. We are Prabhupada disciple, those following strictly. So that's why we have to make sure that everywhere, anywhere, any classes, everywhere, first they should refer to Prabhupada books first. No other books. If one is sticking to the Prabhupada brother, they better stick to the Prabhupada books, then you refer any other book. Otherwise, you are minimizing the founder Acharya, you are reducing his position to lower. That's what it is. Then we become serious. This is where everything is. This must be there. Prabhupada has sacrificed his whole life. That means first we have to read Prabhupada books. Then you refer other books, no problem. But without putting our time and effort reading Prabhupada books, if you read anything else, that means we are minimizing our founder Acharya's position. Why did he sacrifice others? Whose purpose has he written? This we have to understand. If we stick to Prabhupada's principles, then because our gurus are reading Prabhupada books, aren't they? Aren't they telling in the class? So then why we think that we are better than guru and do something else? This we have to realize. These mistakes we have to correct. Then only we can practice. Seriousness will be there. So then that is what sadhu sukrutu means. Externally, when guru is there, you are taking shelter of sadhu or guru. Internally also, that means you are reading Prabhupada, means you are taking shelter of Prabhupada. Also, he said that I am not. When you die, who will be the guru? He said, I don't die. I am living in my books. So that means you are taking shelter of the Vani. His Vani, he has a full power potency. Bhakti Vedanta purports is so crucial in our life. That means we have to read his books. Then you refer other books, fine, no problem. But if you don't read his books, you don't refer in any classes, you refer something else, it's not a good proposal. That's why which book we are reading here, Prabhupada book. First Prabhupada, then you refer other books, no problem. But you directly, when class starts, you refer first another book, not Prabhupada book. Even though Prabhupada has written that book, but you refer some other book. What does it mean? That means we haven't understood the essence. That's what it means. So this we have to realize it. However, somebody else may be great. We are not denying that fact. But we have to understand that means why did Sampradaya is called Sampradaya Acharya? Why is he called founder Acharya? Otherwise, that means first we have to take his shelter and then we can understand because everything is operating, the whole ISKCON is running when he is there. Anything we are getting, donations, respect, everything, because he is there. He has done significant work, and because of him, then everything else coming. If he is minus, then nothing. Nothing. You can't get anything. You can't even get the mercy of the Lord. Yadi Prabhupada na hai to, zero, sunya. So that we have to realize, put in the core of the heart, then we become attached to Prabhupada actually in the core of the heart and we follow exactly what Prabhupada is instructing. What Lord Kapila is instructing is not different what Prabhupada is teaching. He is teaching exactly the same thing. We'll stop here. Already 4 minutes. I have another class I'm supposed to join. If you have questions or comments, corrections, you can send me a message in WhatsApp as I'm in India right now. Thank you very much. Gandhara Srimad भागवतम की जाए दिस पार्ट ऑफ श्रीमद भागवतम श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए वैष्णव की वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां
Patitanam
पावनेभ्यो
Pavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vaishnavebhyo.
नमो नमः वैष्णव की जाए Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is Ekadasi, 17th July. Very important Ekadasi. Please try to follow it. Ekadasi Kirtan will be there. So we'll post, I think, in the evening because it's a weekday, Jai Prakash Prabhu. So you can announce. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.